Right. Okay, we're here with Mark Miller, everyone's favourite American, to talk about the preparation involved for the TT racing. How about it, Mark?
Yeah, it does. Leading up to the race is several months in advance, and you have to have certain muscles that are strengthened that aren't quite normal. You need a lot of strength in your hands and your wrists and your forearms for the TT. It's just a constant tank slap. You also need to focus a lot on your thighs and being in a low crunch, like a squat position, because you're always bouncing up and down off your pegs, off the seat. So, but the other thing, mentally, there's not a whole lot you can do other than get some rest before the TT kicks off, because it's a really long burn. It's 2 weeks long. So you really want to sort of have a nice week or two of really mellow activity leading up to it. For me, you know, I watch a lot of films, listen to a lot of music, just chill out. But having said that, there's not a lot you can do to really prepare for the moment that you go ripping down Gray Hill, because once you get on top of that bike and close that visor and click it into gear and get the tap on the shoulder to go ripping down that public road at 180 miles an hour, you're in the moment. There's nothing you can do to sort of like amp yourself up. You don't need to amp yourself up. You'll be plenty amped once you kind of get out there. So there's not a whole lot you really need to do leading up to getting on, you know, throwing the leg over the bike, because, you know, once you actually pull the trigger, you have to be in the moment, because if you're not, you know, you're gonna kill yourself.
So, Mark, the late finishing of each of the sessions, does that affect your winding down? Does your sleep pattern change? You must be quite amped, as you say.
I think when you get off the bike, there's a certain amount of relief. You can't help but feel that you know, you survived the day. First of all, you know, the bike is in one piece. It didn't explode. You didn't do anything silly to yourself, or have somebody else do something silly to you. So the first thing you do is basically you have an exhale, and I think that big exhale of a deep breath, it calms you down almost instantly, and you know that you'll have a lot of time to reflect before the next time you ride again. And honestly, I don't have a big charge getting off the bike. You might have a little bit of happiness that the thing's working, or you might be really pissed off because it's not working. And that actually would probably keep you more fired up trying to sleep at night than anything. If the shit ain't working, if it's not handling right, it's just go, you know, and it's scaring you to death. That'll keep you up, because you just need it to work. These are long 20-minute laps, and then, you know, even if you practice, if you need to make a major change, because you just made a change, and it takes 20 minutes to get all the way back to fix the change or to try something new. So I'd say for the most part, though, things are working pretty well. You don't have any problem immediately being calm. It's physically exhausting as well as it is mentally exhausting. So not a big problem, I think, winding down.
How much more pressure does it add knowing that tomorrow you might have to get on the bike and it may not be right? They may have tried to fix it, but you may still have you know, something you're wearing off. Does that take that little bit of extra mental prep knowing that you're going to go down Gray Hill?
Gosh, I mean, I'm so old and been at this for so long, I just don't really go through these ebbs and flows emotionally. You know, it's like we just kind of have a job to do, and the job is to get the thing comfortable, and then it's up to me to sort of ride it and push the boundaries and try new things on the track to get it to work better. But
riding down the problem is a big part of the TT, isn't it?
It's always a compromise, because it's the suspension is much softer than normal short circuit racing, which is quite a smooth racetrack. Whereas here it's just like motocross. I mean, it's so high speed. I mean, you could crack 200 miles an hour if you're not careful on a couple of these straightaways. So the average speed is much higher than the average racetrack as well, including like Daytona and stuff. This racetrack has a higher average speed. So you don't have to sit there and overthink it. You know, you got to keep things really basic and have the bike put together very soundly, and they check every bolt a million times, and the setup has to be a nice big compromise of stability, but also enough to give over the jumps and all the big bumps and the tank slaps. And there's not a whole lot of worry about it, dude. You just got to like get on the thing and pull the trigger and hold on to dear life and hope that it's close. And then if you can make a change, if you got that opportunity, you try some stuff, and you can typically fine tune it a bit.
Are you helping Way on with his preparation? Does he? I see when you come back into the paddock, you guys have a little chat through the helmets about how's it going, how's it gone. Is he receptive to advice, and are you sort of mentoring him a little bit?
Yeah, for sure, a little bit. You know, he's an experienced guy. He doesn't need me like sort of mother henning him to death. But there are certain things where I try to give him a little bit of not warning, but a little bit of fast forward to some of the things that are so unique about the racetrack. Like when you get airborne at 155 mile an hour, there's certain ways you can grip the bottom of the cups of the tank with your elbows. I'm just trying to explain a little bit how to not try to get up off the seat like a motocross bike, because then you're prone to this. So there's little pointers that I think I can kind of give him.
That you may not have experienced
Yeah,
yet.
and also some certain things I look over his bike before as much as I can to see if it's sort of set up right, or if he's got similar gearing that I've got, or he's got the right windscreen, or just different kinds of things that just to sort of oversee. The thing with the amount of experience, being the 8th TT, I do have the experience in the truck. So between myself and my boy Dave, my mechanic, we're both just sort of keeping an eye on the situation.
Yeah.